Welcome back to the 2019 Canadian High School Ultimate Championships. We are here at Carleton University in Ottawa, Ontario. It's a beautiful summery day here in Ottawa, and we have a semi-final matchup for you between the Kelvin Clippers out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, facing off against the Etobicoke Collegiate Rams from Toronto. And this is sure to be a good game for you here. These two teams, number 1 and 4 seeds overall in the tournament. So both teams currently matching up to their expectations and making it to the semifinals. We did just, of course, see Kelvin High School win their quarterfinal matchup against their local rivals, SJR. Etobicoke, on the other hand, faced off against Pierre Mariste from Quebec, beating them, I believe, 11-8. So a bit of a closer quarterfinal, but both these teams ready to go for the semifinals in this one. The horn has already gone, so we're actually about 2 minutes into this game, technically, already. Both these teams just taking a second to get themselves ready. It's hard when you do play back-to-back games. You only have about 10 minutes between games to get underway. We will have Etobicoke in the black jerseys on the right side of your screen. Kelvin in the white. Kelvin are going to start us off here for the semifinals. The 2018 reigning champions and spirit champions trying to get themselves back to the final. Wilson gets us underway. Semifinals at the 2019 Canadian High School Ultimate Championships. That pull is going to sail out of bounds, and Etobicoke get a chance to walk this into the brick mark. Disc in play, immediately shooting upfield. Now resetting. Argyropoulos with the disc. Finds the option under and now goes upfield. Etobicoke finding some space on that far sideline. Looking for the reset. Inside out shot into the end zone. Through the contact, gets the goal. Argyropoulos with the point there. And Etobicoke start us off. It is an offensive hold, 1-0 early in this semifinal. Apologize in advance. There are some players with some of the same numbers down there for Etobicoke. These games being close together. A little too late to make some changes, so if we get some names wrong, we apologize in advance. We'll do our best. I say we, it is just me right now. I will do my best. But that being said, Etobicoke starting out quite strong. Worked the unders. Content to be patient all the way up to the end zone. This team was founded in 2013. This is their 3rd time at CHSUC. They came 7th both of the previous appearances, so they have already improved on that, making it to the top 4. So they get set to pull Kelvin on offense. Wilson will collect. Has Peterson, one of the 2 Peterson brothers, in the middle. Finds the dish pass to the reset for Wilson. Wilson running low on options, and there was a travel called. Had to stop play. Now looks like some discussion on where the stall count was supposed to restart, but part of that being that he was actually stalled down. No contest there from Wilson. So Etobicoke will get this on the end zone line with McPhee. Looks right away to Argyropoulos in the end zone again. 2 points to her name already. And that is an early break here for the Rams, making it 2-0. So early on in this game, Angela Argyropoulos, 2 points to her name already. I'm sure we'll see her be a dominant receiver for this Etobicoke team. Kelvin looking to get their first point of this semifinal on the board as the Etobicoke Rams pull. Knockhart will collect here for Kelvin. Wilson finds Peterson, thought about the deep flick and goes for the backhand. Has the receiver streaking towards the end zone, but that one was sailing out of bounds and gave the chance to the defense to catch up. Lindsay Marshall couldn't get there. Now Etobicoke a chance to go back the other way. Rodriguez puts it into space. It's going to hang in the air, and his teammate will collect. Etobicoke puts it deep. Just out of the hands there of Argyropoulos this time. No surprises that they're looking for her as a receiver again. Wilson will pick up here for the Clippers. Wilson looking for the reset. Tramley and Wilson going 1 and 2. Now Peterson. Boyda had to get low to that one, and Kelvin having a bit of trouble finding their cuts upfield. Marshall goes with the inside backhand there to Wilson. Wilson will unleash deep now. That one is going to blade around towards the far side of the field, but it's collected nonetheless. Gets up big for that one. Tramley near the end zone line. Kelvin looking to get themselves on the board. Wilson centers to Gillis. Gillis goes around backhand to Peterson. On the doorstep now. Inside out backhand across the field, and a miscommunication there. I'm not sure Boyda knew that that disc was meant for him. Peterson maybe getting a little too creative on that one. It's going to give a chance to Etobicoke for another break. Collected on the far side now. McPhee up line. He's going to unleash. That disc is going to sit up towards this near sideline. And it's touched off the hands of the defender. Away from the intended receiver, Jackson Young. You can hear some of the sideline for Kelvin yelling at their team to chill. Take a deep breath. Looking to get themselves on the board here. Marshall has Knockhart in the middle. Wilson going for the huck once again, but again, no receivers in the space. Kelvin looking a little bit shaky, a little bit nervy at the start of this game. See what the Rams can do here, looking for their third break of the game. Third point would be their second break. Rodriguez with the disc in his hands. Finds an option in the middle. Now McPhee on the far side. Into the middle. Open space here for the Rams. Looking to work it up the field. Finds Rodriguez for the reset. Now into space, and it looks like there might have been a touch from Wilson. And in that same breath, Rodriguez calling the foul, so this disc will return. Contested foul call, it looks like here. That disc on the near sideline now. And it's knocked to the ground. Another chance here as Wilson unleashes another huck. That one blading towards the ground and too far away from his receiver again. Kelvin, definitely a nervous start to this game and an injury. It's an injury back down where the throw was released. Looks like maybe the arm of Wilson on that huck might have made some contact with Rodriguez. Hopefully he is okay. He's going to get up and walk off the field. Hopefully he is all right. He's already been kind of a general of the offense here for Etobicoke, so hopefully we'll see more of him in this game. So I think a foul was called as well, so the disc will return to the hands of Quinn Wilson. Just made contact with Rodriguez as he released that huck. So the sub is on and Wilson will get possession of the disc. Looks like some miscommunication there on the start of the play. So just resetting still here. Looks like the disc, maybe discussion of the disc being warped. Technically they are supposed to finish the point with the warp disc. Looks like they're going to agree to change it. So Wilson will finally get us back underway. Let's see, resets to Peterson. That one going deep, hanging in the air. Wilson will track it down right at the end zone line. Keeps his feet in bounds. And Kelvin get themselves on the board at 2-1. So the other quarterfinals this morning, it sounds like they ran a little bit long. Some long games over there, but the other semifinal is between Bowmanville out of Ontario versus Grey Academy out of Winnipeg. They're battling on the other field right now. We'll try to get you score updates if we can. So Kelvin finding themselves onto the board. So Etobicoke back out on offense now. That one is going to go into the ground here. Pressure defense. And to the end zone for Knockhart, and it's going to sail into her hands. Kelvin Clippers get themselves a break back, and they make this game 2-2. After a bit of a shaky start, this time their deep shots work perfectly in their favor. Cassidy Knockhart with the goal. So 2-2 early in this semifinal game. Kelvin trying to return to the championship game. Etobicoke trying to make it to their first ever championship game at this event. They've already done better than they ever have here. See what they can do moving forward in this match. Kelvin finding their footing again, set to pull now. See the Rams come out with their familiar, strong offensive unit here. So that disc will sail just out of bounds. Will be collected to the middle. Immediately upfield finds the receiver in Kalins, but he's going to put it into the turf. And an opportunity here back to Kelvin. And a foot block on the mark. Peterson wound up for the huck, but it was red. Thomas Panayotopoulos. And now he's going to make another big catch on that far sideline. Puts it up into the air, hanging in space, being tracked down. Knockhart gets to it first. Celebrates on the defensive play. This game is getting intense. Kelvin looking for a break. Riley Peterson upfield. Diamond Burchuk to Marshall, and a run through D. Gets there first. Looking for another option, going 1 and 2. Panayotopoulos now over to the far sideline. Riley Walker looking for an option. Finds the reset and run through coverage. And it looks like a strip is going to be called. Etobicoke thinking that maybe he got his hands to that one first. Looking for the reset, finds it, and there's going to be a stall down call here, and uncontested. So Kelvin will get the disc back. Peterson upfield to Boyda. Back with Peterson already. Looking for the end zone, has two receivers going. Knockhart chasing it down and will get there. Bobbled it into the hands of her teammate. And Kelvin coming down with it again for the goal. They take this one to 3-2. Get another break here in this game, and this game is getting exciting. This is everything you want to see in a semifinal game. Both teams putting everything on the line already. So 3 unanswered points here from Kelvin. Talked about this so many times before, but ultimate can be such a game of runs and a game of emotions. When your team is up, sometimes it can be hard to break you down, but if you do get broken down, it can give all the momentum to the other team. So started off strong with Etobicoke rallying off 2 points quickly. Kelvin looked nervous, and now they look like they found their stride once again. So we'll see how the Rams can respond here. Etobicoke Rams have been the Toronto West champs for 5 years in a row. They were Toronto City champions in 2016 and the provincial champions in 2018. So a growing program, and consistently they've been good over the last several years, so it's good to see them making it to their first semifinals here at this event. That one goes into coverage in the middle. Now upfield, Kelvin trying to get through to that one, but that throw too far in front of the receiver. McPhee tried to get there. Now Wilson is going to unleash a huck. It was touched by the defender on a hand block, and it sails into the ground. Etobicoke putting some incredible defense on Quinn Wilson here. They must have watched some of Kelvin playing earlier. They know Wilson likes to huck it. So now they go up line. Looking for the next option here. Carville stuck in that position, and there's going to be a stall down call here. It did look like it might have gotten to that point. So the disc will return. Carver will have to discuss. So it looks like Carville saying she feels like she got it out of her hand before the call. Gillis on the mark there. Did seem like it had been nearly 10 seconds. The question being, I think, not a fast count, but if she got it off in time. So the disc back in the hands here. Carville immediately puts it in a layout D. Quinn Wilson makes sure that there can be no mistakes there. Almost throws it past Peterson. Has to reel in the huck. Looking for the next option. Has Gillis in the middle. Gillis resets now to Wilson. Wilson unleashing another huck. That one's going to blade towards the ground once again. Was looking for the receiver, and Rachel Mann can't float that one up, and Etobicoke looking for the hold here still. That disc didn't come back in, so it will get to be walked up quite a ways. Back in play. Looking for the next throw here and gets the reset into the middle. And that just too far ahead of the receiver. Had a wide open receiver. Couldn't hit her. Quinn Wilson shooting that one deep. This one should work as Tramley tracks it down. Resets. Wilson coming in. Wilson holsters the end zone shot. Running out of options. Has to put it up. Has some help in the area, but the defense is there as well. They were ready for that one. Now Will Kalins will walk it up. He's going to call a timeout. So Etobicoke here trying to reset a little bit. This point has turned into a little bit of a scrappier point. A lot of turnovers. Could be a momentum shifting point for either of these two teams. So Etobicoke recognizing that it's taking a bit longer to play this point, so resetting here, trying to get some composure, maybe call a play. Teams just having their discussions. Kelvin undoubtedly will look to do something a bit different here to stifle any kind of play call. The teams getting ready to come out of this timeout. It is definitely getting pretty hot down there on the turf. Say it's can get up to being 10 degrees hotter on turf fields than it is for everybody else. So when you're playing, definitely need lots of water. Sometimes your feet can get hot in your cleats, so doing what they can to cool down. You see some of the players have picked up some umbrellas on the sideline now. So Kalins here will get us underway. Grade 12 student for the Rams. One of the captains of this team. Disc back in play here. Kalins holstering the huck option. Finds an option under with Carville. Now he's going to huck. Looking for Young in the end zone. That one blading away from Young. The layout got a finger to it, but can't quite get there. Great attempt there. Could see that's what the Rams wanted to call for their play. Took their time building to it, but then when it was open, no hesitations. Wilson, mainstay handler of this team, and he unleashes, looking for Megan Gillis, sprinting to the disc, and it just falls a little in front of her. Megan Gillis unleashing her speed there. Kalins. Now working it upfield, looking for Uchida, but it falls into the hands of Wilson instead. Wilson has Gillis in the middle. unleashing a huck. Peterson looking for Wilson. That one is going to sit in the back corner of the end zone. Through the defense, 2 defenders. Quinn Wilson reads it better than both of them. Comes down for his second goal of the game. And 4 unanswered points here from the Kelvin Clippers. They make it 4-2. Incredible point there from Peterson. It looks like there's some discussion actually on the play here. I think I was too excited to notice as well. So maybe a travel call. Looks like the call is retracted. So the goal will stand, and Peterson and Wilson having a little moment together, knowing that that throw was a bit of a Hail Mary pass. He put a huge inside-out edge on it, maybe knowing that it would fall back into the path of his receiver. Wilson just reading it better than the defenders. Had pressure from Callens and Young in that space. Now the Rams down by 2. They started this game going 2-0. Kelvin looked nervous, but has since found their stride once again. Kelvin getting set to pull here. Both these teams very active on the sideline, getting excited. Championship game on the line here. This is going to roll all the way back into the end zone for Etobicoke. Walker will pick up. Walker finds Wojciech, who puts it back into the middle. And that's too far out of the reach. And immediately dished into the end zone. Quinn Wilson, his 3rd goal of the game, spikes it to the ground. Kelvin running away right now at 5-2. They look absolutely amped up. I think a bit unfortunate there for the Rams. They got stuck back in their end zone from that pull. Didn't have a lot of options, but still did a good job to work it around to that far sideline, and then just a miscued throw. And sometimes it's not about the defensive plays, but more about the defensive pressure. And this is something that we saw from Kelvin in their quarterfinal game as well against SJR. The speed and intensity of which they rely on their person defense can really cause the other team to make some unforced errors. So the same defense coming into play. We haven't really seen any other kind of looks from them defensively, but not really needing them when their person defense is working so effectively. I believe a timeout here from Etobicoke, taking their 2nd time out of the half. Trying to get themselves amped up again. Go on another run like they did at the start of the game. So it looks like Kelvin is in the end zone that decides the gender ratio right now. So they just signaled to the other team that they are going to go 4 girls. About 35 minutes into this game, but time still on the side of both of these teams. Plenty of time for the Rams to make a run here. Coming out of a timeout, it's always a great feeling to be able to produce a score right away. So we'll see what they can do as Callens will collect. Pressure coming down right away. Disc on the far sideline here for the Rams. Now into the middle with their captain. Vujicic looking for an option. Walker stuck on that sideline, but gets the option in the middle, and there's going to be a stall down call here. It's going to be contested, so the disc back in the hands of Riley Walker. Goes for the hammer. Trying to get out of her hands quickly as Wilson now the blade around, and it's caught by Tramley. Somehow gets his hand on that disc. Must have had a magnet attached to his hand there and walks away with it. And you can see how amped up Kelvin is right now, leading this semifinal 6-2, and one more point would take half for them here. Got to give credit to Kelvin for how quickly they transition after turnovers. Wilson recognizing and picking up the disc, but his teammate, Cam Tramley, immediately was sprinting to the end zone and was ready for that throw. Kelvin is pulling out all the stops in this game right now. The Rams just getting stuck again with that pressure person defense, so we'll see how they're going to readjust to that. The first 2 points of this game, they looked like the better team, so we know that they can absolutely make a difference here. Callens. He's going to unleash a huck, looking for Young. That disc sitting in the air. Only one receiver bobbled off of his hands. And it looks like he just came down hard. Kind of rolled over on his own head there. He looks like he's okay. 2 players shaking hands, but the disc will return to the hands of Kelvin. Peterson. And a foot block right on the end zone line. Thomas Etobicoke stuffs it. Gives a chance for Etobicoke. Now Callens. Around backhand to the end zone, looking for Young. Scooped up at the back. Angela Argyropoulos with the goal, and Etobicoke find themselves another answer here. Make it 6-3. Etobicoke there, the incredible foot block to create that play for his team. And we have seen a few foot blocks and hand blocks from this Etobicoke team. Their defense ramping up its intensity now. We'll see if that can continue and create themselves some more chances. But an incredible play there. Absolutely stuffed it on the end zone line, and good to see them taking advantage. Managed to get himself the assist there as well. His second assist of the game. And no surprises, but it's a third goal for Argyropoulos as well. She scored all 3 of their points here for the Rams, so definitely will want to look to take advantage of that. So we have seen the Rams able to break early in this game as they will look for another one. Etobicoke getting set to pull here. Callens put that one about 10 yards out from the end zone. Knockhart collects to Tramley. Has Peterson, who has Wilson going. Didn't hit him on the first one. Instead finds Marshall through the space. Now Wilson. Wilson is going to air that one out, looking for Gillis in the end zone, but instead Tramley came in. Unfortunately, just out of his reach. Kelvin Clippers, 3 receivers going. Chance for Etobicoke to bring this back within 2 before halftime. See if they can take advantage of this opportunity here. Callens slowly walking it back up to the line. And a huge layout block. Quentin Wilson gets to that disc first. Read it so well. And threw it into the end zone for his teammate Tramley. Don't think he realized that he threw that from within the end zone when he picked it up. So it should have been a travel call on that play, but nonetheless, Wilson gets the huge layout D, then gets himself the assist. The goal for Tramley will take us to halftime. Kelvin leading 7-3 in this game and looking very confident right now. We will be back with second half action in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the 2019 Canadian High School Ultimate Championships here in Ottawa, Ontario. We have a semifinal matchup on our hands right now between the Kelvin Clippers of Winnipeg, Manitoba, facing off against the Etobicoke Collegiate Rams out of Ontario. Right now, Kelvin leading 7-3. After a shaky start, they went down 2-0 at the start of the first half. They have since looked confident and dominant through the rest of the first half. Etobicoke managing to get one more point on the board near the end of that first half. See if they can build themselves some momentum and go on a run right out of halftime here. They will have to start on defense. Kelvin, of course, looking to repeat as champions for the 2019 edition of the event. They were the 2018 overall gold medal winners and spirit champions as well. So seeing if they can repeat both titles. One more half of the semifinals here. The other semifinal currently taking place between Bowmanville and Grey Academy. Could end up being an all Manitoba affair. We'll have to see. For now, Quinn Wilson will get us back underway in this semifinal as Etobicoke is coming down in a zone look, changing up their defensive set here. Marshall with the disc. Has Peterson on the near sideline. Peterson breaks the mark to find Knockhart. Now Wilson. Wilson unleashing, but that one is going to be too low, directly into the hands of the deep mark. But it looks like there may have been an injury. Looks like just a cramp in the middle of the field. The disc will stay in the hands of the deep defender for Etobicoke. Panay Iotopoulos down on the field right now, just being stretched out by his teammate. This is both these teams' 5th game of the weekend. It was quite warm, especially considering it's been much colder recently, so these teams may be just adjusting to the heat. So he'll take a sub. Hopefully he'll be all right, and we'll see him return in this game. He's definitely been a critical player for this ECI team. So ECI will get a sub on, and play will restart here. Telling Callens right now where he's supposed to be to reset the play. All right, so the disc is back in play. Sorted out where they need it to be. Gets swung around to the far side. Looking for a reset, finds it in Walker. Now Vujicic. Getting stuck, has to go for the scooper, finds the option. Upfield to Argyropoulos. Argyropoulos has all 3 of the goals so far for the Rams. Like there was a pick called before, so the disc will have to return to the hands of Argyropoulos, the grade 12 student from ECI. Back in play. Has Walker on this near sideline. Walker looking for the reset. It's going to hang over the head and layout D attempt. Disc fell away from both players as now Peterson will pick up, and now Gillis looking to go back the other way. Resets to Wilson. Wilson pops it up to Peterson. That disc hangs up high, but Gillis runs onto it and then sustains a bit of contact, keeps the disc in her possession. Pops it up to Wilson for the reset. Wilson pops that one into space, looking for Knockhart. The huge layout for the goal. An unbelievable grab, and it looks like there might have been a call, but an incredible grab from Cassidy Knockhart to get to that disc. Looks like discussion of maybe a pit call. See if it affected the outcome of that play. I'm not sure anybody else would have had a play on that disc except for Cassidy Knockhart at that point. Absolutely incredible athleticism on display. See Knockhart there hoping that this will stand. It's always a little bit disappointing to make such an incredible play and have it not called as a goal right away, but that being said, if she had not made the catch, then that would have been a turnover had there been a pit call. Immediately, Quinn Wilson is going to take a timeout here. The Clippers trying to punch in their first goal out of halftime. So Wilson will have a chance with the disc about 10 yards from the end zone when the play restarts here. I'm sure Kelvin will try to run a simple offensive end zone look here. So they will reset now. Wilson has Ethan Boyda at the front of the stack there. The ECI Rams coming out trying to bracket the end zone there a little bit, but Megan Gillis gets herself open in yards of space. Her defender there, unfortunately, was only looking at Gillis and not at the disc. Gillis takes advantage, extends their lead to 5, and makes it 8-3 in this semifinal game. So Kelvin in command right now. Time on their side. There's just over 15 minutes remaining in this game. Something that I'm sure ECI is well aware of. ECI will need to go on a run. They'll need to start now, really, to bring this one back within their reach. Wilson to pull for Kelvin. Disc will get walked in to the middle of the field here. Has to lay out to retain possession, but gets there. Person-to-person defense here from the Clippers. Trying to find an option. Goes under around Wilson, but puts it into the ground. Wilson putting on enough pressure on the mark, and it gets the disc back to Kelvin. As Wilson is going to unleash a huck, looking for Diamond Burchuck in the end zone. There's a bid, but unfortunately can't quite get there. That disc was always blading away. And now ECI unleashing a flick huck of their own. Finds the receiver in Uchida upfield. "15 yards from the end zone now for the Rams. Swing it all the way across to the near side of the field. Uchida resetting now. Fakes the hammer option. Goes for it on the second attempt. Has the receiver, but it's bobbled off of his hands. Mancuso can't hang on. See how badly Yates wanted that option. Fortunately, it doesn't work out for him here as Wilson, no surprises, will go for another huck, but lost his balance on the throw, and that is one of the problems when you pivot and you turn around like that. You lose sight of where your receiver is as well. He loses balance on that throw. The Rams still looking for a hold here. Yates. And a hand block from Wilson. Gets a touch on it. Has Marshall in the end zone and will hit her. And Kelvin Clippers in control. They lead 9-3 in this semifinal. Quinn Wilson is absolutely having the game of his life right now. He has been all over the board. 2 assists and 3 goals for him here. And some incredible layout Ds we've seen, and of course that hand block there as well. Kelvin running away with it right now. You can see ECI trying to keep their heads up here. Kelvin not making a lot of personnel changes on this line either. They are up by 6 points, but they are keeping out their top players. It's the semifinals here. They don't want anything to slip up. Looking to take themselves back to the national championship game. Wilson unleash his pull. Gonna sail just out of bounds. So ECI will get to walk this in to the brick mark. Huge layout D attempt from Wilson, but it's collected anyways. Now moving it upfield. Has the upline cut coming, finds it. Emma Oro puts it back upfield. Oro collecting it again, going 1 and 2. McPhee looking for an option and a hand block, almost caught on the second attempt. 2 hand blocks in a row here for Wilson, and he is going to unleash his huck, and he is going to put it straight out the back of the field. You can see how excited he was about that one. Had the receivers going, but just put way too much force behind it. And it looks like maybe another touch there. Disc will return to the hands of ECI. Did seem like a little bit of a late call for the foul. The disc took a second to make that call, but nonetheless, looks like uncontested and back in the hands of ECI. Upline now, and he was looking for the upline shot again, and this time it's another hand block. Cornelson gets a touch to that one, as Wilson will pick up. Has Knockhart in the middle. Wilson juking out his defender. Thought about the high release backhand. Instead, goes for the big around flick, and the defender gets a touch to it. He had 2 receivers. Val Vujicic, the captain for ECI, getting there first. Walker puts it in, looking for McPhee in the middle, and Wilson makes no hesitations. The quick transition once again from the Clippers. Wilson hits Gillis in the end zone, and it is now 10-3, 10 minutes to go in this game. Kelvin have been in control throughout this game, and in this second half, they look like they are headed to the national championship game once again. Kelvin 3 points away from closing this one out as Tramley's signature flick pull will go up, but it's going to sail just out of bounds on that far sideline. Callens will bring this into the brick mark. Bobbled off the hands, but he keeps it on the second attempt. Now back with Vujicic. Looking for the big huck. Huge flick put downfield there. That was Boutros with that throw, but her receiver is a little bit too far from that one. Looking for the deep option. This time looking for Diamond Burchuk, who will come back to attack that one, but just out of her hand. Great effort there from Coco Diamond Burchuk, but now ECI going back the other way. Callens resets. Boutros puts the high release backhand, and then it's picked off in space. Rachel Mann comes through for this one. Here. Tramley around backhand towards the end zone. The layout, but it bobbles out of his hands as he hit the ground. Kelvin maybe having a little bit too much fun with this game now as this one goes back the other way and is going to sail all the way off the field. Both these teams getting a little bit trigger happy. Tramley unleashes another backhand huck. This one floating, collected by the defense. Goes for the hammer. Bobbles off of his receiver. There was some contact. It's like just some discussion over what happened. Looks like the call discussed well. Looks like it will be retracted call. There was some contact, but I think he had dropped the disc just before the contact occurred. Now Tramley puts it upfield here. DeRoche putting that one towards the end zone, looking for Tramley, who tries to come back to it, but Callens gets there first. Now Yates in the middle. Harvey puts it too far in front, unfortunately, there for Callens. And it sails out of bounds on that far sideline. Kelvin looking to close this game out still. Once again, no surprises. Tramley goes for that around backhand into the end zone, but again, no receivers in the space. This has been one of the longer points we've had in this whole game. Both these teams know that there's only about 5 minutes left, so the sense of urgency here, not quite there. Tramley picks that one off. This time, Tramley just tries to pop it up into space, but the defender runs onto that one. He's going to walk it up, and he's going to call a timeout here. This has been quite the long point. Both these teams want to avoid injuries. Still have other important games to play. As it stands right now, Kelvin will be moving on to the gold medal game. ECI to the bronze medal game. ECI, of course, have been at CHSUC twice before, but have only finished 7th both times. So they have definitely improved on that, and they'll be looking to hit the podium. So see what ECI calls out of this timeout. Maybe a good chance to work on something with the bronze medal game coming up for them later today at 1:30. We will be, of course, live streaming the gold medal game. Likely see Kelvin take on the winner of Grey Academy versus Bowmanville. So coming out of this timeout, trying to end this game strongly here for both teams. Reset option was stifled and the hammer comes up. Callens collects in the middle. Now upfield into open space for his receiver. Looking for the next option, but another run through D from Mann. See if they can settle down through DeRoche here. Diamond Burchuk puts it inside, and it's just in and out of the hands of DeRoche. Now upfield, gets up big for that one. Onto the far side here. Mancuso Putting it up line to Callens, who shoots for the end zone, looking for Yates, who will reel that one in. And ECI battle it out to come away with this long point here. Get themselves another point on the board. They make it 10-4 in this semifinal. And such a great job there of working it patiently up the field after a long turnover-filled point. They get away with the score. Only a couple minutes left on the clock in this game. Both these teams head back to the line. Both moving a little bit slowly. I think they know that this could end up being the last point of this game. Pull comes up what could be the last point of this semifinal game. Be collected here by Peterson. Gets the reset upfield, stuck on that sideline, but manages to work it up. The horn has gone, so this will be the last point of the game, which means we will be seeing Kelvin return to the championship game for a second year in a row. Shoots it through the space and into coverage. Man hangs on. And now a Huck unleashed into space. Plenty of time. Helping each other out once again. Peterson comes in for the goal. Makes it 11-4, and the Kelvin Clippers will win this semifinal. They will head back to the gold medal game, and they will face the winner of Bowmanville versus Gray Academy. Believe since those quarterfinals ran late that semifinal did start late and is likely still ongoing, so we don't know who the winner will be yet, but we will let you know on our social media as soon as we do. That game will be live streamed here at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so don't go too far. We look forward to seeing you then.